Good morning, good morning. Checking in to see if where I'm going is the way in which the inner light is guiding. Oh, guiding me to feel these connections every day. Then every day I'm being pulled by truth. And when I feel the obstacles of doubt and fear in me, I'll lift my heart and breathe in more of you. I'm coming after you, my joy, chasing after you, my love. Walking till I see the sun shine in these eyes. I'm coming after you, my joy, chasing after you, my love. Walking till I see the sun shine in these eyes. Moving through this mystery, it all can feel surreal. Surreal until I take the time to listen. I'm listening to the one and making choices every day. And every day I'm being pulled by truth. And when I feel the obstacles of doubt and fear in me, I lift my heart and breathe in more of you. I'm coming after you, my joy, chasing after you, my love. Walking till I see the sun shine in these eyes. I'm coming after you, my joy, chasing after you, my love. Walking till I see the sun shine in these eyes. I'm coming after you, my joy, chasing after you, my love. Walking till I see the sun shine in these eyes.
Oh, thank you, thank you. It's wonderful having all of you here. We welcome you this morning to Unity Spiritual Center of Portland as we gather both in this space and with our virtual family, recognizing the presence and power that actually guides us and reminds us of who we are, and also allows us to step forward in a way that we may not have stepped forward as an in up until now. You know, this is often one of our lowest attendance Sundays, so we welcome you here. Congratulations. People are usually like, I made it through. I got through this, and I'm just going to breathe for a little bit. It's so much fun, and then everybody will be back next week for our white stone ceremony. But I just welcome you where we are, because we're in this sacred space. You know, this is New Year's Eve day, so it's this space before we step into the new, and we have the ability to both create a container into which we birth the new that we're being called to birth in our lives. And we also are called to be a part of a larger birthing within humanity and within the ideas and the consciousness on our planet. So we are going to begin this service as we do every week. Every time we begin a service, we begin in prayer. Some of you may realize that we have a white candle up that we light. We still have our Advent candles lit, which was the idea for 4 weeks. We looked at the idea of adding an idea. We added hope. We added peace. We added love. And we added joy. And it's the idea of adding to our consciousness another quality, and when we do, we rise higher and we see something higher. But we also have the white candle, which what in my upbringing for the last 65 years, I thought everybody had a Christ candle in their home. or in the spaces where they went that represented the divine pattern of the infinite within every human being everywhere. It doesn't have to be called Christ. It can be called the divine pattern of the quantum field, but that pattern is within every one of us. So when we light that before the service, we're acknowledging that every one of us here, every one of us on this planet has the divine plan of the infinite within them. And if you haven't breathed that in, if you didn't get up this morning and say, I have got the divine plan within me and I am ready to express it, I'm just going to invite you to move into that place right now. I have the divine plan within me, and I am ready to welcome it and express it. Let's begin this service in prayer. And we just say, Infinite Spirit, we welcome and open ourselves to this one presence and one power, light. God, the infinite intelligence of the universe vibrates within us. And we say yes to the divine pattern, pure love, pure life, pure presence, pure power that vibrates as us this morning. If we haven't realized it up until now, we take another breath and say, yes, I am open and receptive to the living spirit of truth that shines as me now, and all else falls away. We let go and let God, and let all that needs to fall away this day as we open in our hearts a space for a new year, for an expanded living and learning and growing and connecting. And for this opportunity to both know it for ourselves and every being in this community, those that are in this space, those that are with us online, and around our globe, to expand that knowing that every one of us everywhere has come to allow the light of the infinite to flow through them as love, as peace, as joy. We say yes to this presence and power, and for every being who is hurting and wondering, where do I go and how do I move? We hold them in the light, surrounding them with that light, and say yes to the infinite presence, just as it is this moment. And so it is. Amen. And Beth has some wonderful things to share as we move into our new year.
Good morning. Good morning. Are you ready for a new year? I am too. We're glad you're here to be a part of it. We do have a lot of wonderful things happening to support you this morning. And the first thing, of course, is our prayer chaplains who are here to support you in prayer. We'll have them stand. Carol and Susan are available after the service today to pray with you. If you're not ready to pray in person, we have prayer requests in the backs of the chairs and in the lobby. You can fill those out. They'll hold those for you for 30 days before sending them off to Silent Unity. They do the dial a prayer every day. If you need a little lift during the week, you can call the number, get an inspirational message. And of course, they lead the guided meditation on Sundays, 10:30 a.m. in the chapel, so you can join them then. I also want to invite you to join them. They are having a meet and greet gathering in the chapel for the first 2 Sundays of the new year. So that's next Sunday, January the 7th, and again on the 14th. If you've ever considered the sacred service of being a prayer chaplain, they invite you to come and state your intention to do so. It's a wonderful opportunity to volunteer, to pray with others, and to grow spiritually. So next Sunday, we will manifest a word or a phrase to carry us through the new year. This is our very wonderful white stone ceremony. People just love this sacred ceremony. And we invite you to come and be a part of it next Sunday at 11. And then we're asking you to stay after the service and help us undecorate. Put the Christmas swag away. It does come down much quicker than it went up, I'm just saying, so it'll be pretty quick. Dixie does have a sign-up sheet. We are going to feed you lunch if you stay and help, so that's a bonus, and we want to be able to plan for food. So if you think you can stay and give us a hand, we welcome you. Friday, January the 12th, the drumming circle returns. So that'll be here in the sanctuary, 7 o'clock. Bring a percussive instrument to play if you have it, and if not, you can use one of the many that Alder brings to share with everyone. So we invite you to come and do that in the new year. I have a couple of offerings that haven't even hit the newsletter yet, so you're the first one to hear them this morning. Something new is beginning on Sunday, January the 14th. Each Sunday morning, our beautiful and wise Annette Boswell, Annette, stand so people know who you are. We are so grateful. She has made the commitment to lead a 12 Powers adult Sunday school on Sunday mornings, 9:45 downstairs in the teen room. You'll be done by 10:30, so if you want to come up and do the meditation after, you'll have plenty of time to do that. And there's no cost. There's no sign up. Just come when you can. It's a wonderful opportunity. And January's power is faith, and Annette promises to strengthen it. There you go. We're grateful for you, Annette. Thank you. Women, mark your calendars on Saturday, February 3rd. There's a workshop that's going to be brought to you by the Legacy Circle, and it's A Woman Needs a Will. I know men need wills too, but this is for the women. And we have a lawyer in our midst who's going to come and teach that and share info. There'll be more info in the newsletter this week and in the coming announcements, so look for that. But mark your calendars at Saturday, February 3rd for that workshop. Our winter classes begin in 3 weeks. Radical Forgiveness on Tuesday the 16th. Actually, it's 3 weeks, yeah. So in January with Reverend Lisa, sign-ups and information on the lobby table for that, and also for Alan Watson's class, The Mysteries of Mary Magdalene, and that starts the following Thursday on January the 25th. Lisa's Radical Forgiveness class is a hybrid class, so she will be Zooming that as well as in person. And if you pre-register now, you get the discount for the class series. If not, it's okay. Classes are $15 each. So I just want to give you that chance to do that. Today, following the service, women's group meets downstairs in the teen room. And Reverend Lisa will hold a What is Unity discussion in the chapel following the service. You'll have time to go downstairs and get a cup of coffee and a snack. Coffee and Connection is supported today by the Youth and Family Ministry, so you can support them today with your gift for the goodies. And on that note, we welcome anyone who's with us for the first time. We certainly invite you down to Coffee and Connection for a little treat. And if this is your first time here and you did not receive a welcome packet when you came in, raise your hand, and our ushers have a few of those, and they'll be happy to hand you one. There's some goodies inside that packet. On the back of that packet, there is a neon card. And on that card, we'd like you to fill it out. This will get you on our mailing list, so you'll be able to know what's going on here in the new year. We also have a QR code that you can scan as well to put in your information. On the front, there's a rose sticker. We'd love for you to peel that off, stick it to your name tag so we know who you are and can give you a warm welcome following the service. We hope to see you downstairs. Happy New Year.
Oh, thank you, Beth. We're so, I was looking at this platform. I've got things left from the candle lighting service here, my blessing, and this. We've got a whole packet from the burning bowl service we just did. It's like it's just this conglomeration. I've got orders of service from just about everything that's happened in December. It's like it all comes together and it just all holds into this space. We're so happy to have you here. If you're new or if you're coming back or this is your second or third time, just know wherever you are in your spiritual journey, we honor you. We're all right where we need to be, even though, I don't know about you, but there's times when I say, I'd like to be over there, please, not here. And I'd like a list of what I'm supposed to do in order, in logical order. And yet life is this mystery that says, allow it to be birthed through you. But we want you to know that we're happy to have you here. We believe that joining in community is one of the most important things we can do right now as we learn as humanity to connect, to touch each other's lives, and to see beings instead of bodies. To really see beings. We are human beings learning how to allow ourselves to be. If this community works for you, please become a part. If it does not work for you, we encourage you to continue seeking. Find some place that says, I know who you are, and encourages you in your daily life. All right, we're going to keep moving on then we are going to stand and sing. And this is Ricky Byers, right? We Let It Be. I know none of us have a difficulty with this, but just in case, we just let it be.
We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. Let's sing about love again. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. Now the peace. We let the peace wash over us. We let it be. The peace. We let the peace wash over us. We let it be. Now the joy. We let the joy wash over us. We let it be. Bringing more joy. We let the joy wash over us. We let it be. Now the love. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. Last time love. We let the love wash over us. We let it be.
Oh, yes. And I just invite you to turn to those around you with a handshake, with a welcome. Namaste. We're so glad you're here. Yes. Part of our service every Sunday is just a short time in meditation. And it's an opportunity for us to anchor and to remember that life is lived from the inside out. And when we get quiet and listen, we find that there is an expansion that's happening. There's a movement of spirit. And so in just a moment, Susie will share that meditation, but first we'll have music. And I just invite you to open your heart to a deeper remembering of the truth of who you are.
I am dropping down to the truth of who I am. I am dropping down, surrendering in love. I am dropping down to the truth of who I am. I am dropping down, surrendering in love, surrendering in love, surrendering in love, surrendering in love.
So this beautiful morning, the beginning of a brand new year, I invite each one of us to just simply soften, to quiet that internal dialogue that is always telling us what we should and shouldn't do, where we should be, how we should manage this and that. And just move into that place where each one of us knows where the presence of all life, everywhere available right now in each one of us, being called this year to be more, to do more, to feel more, and to love ourselves more, to be open to the grace. We are here right now in this time because we were meant to be here. And together as a community, we live and grow and love together into an essence of unconditional love that fills not only this room, but fills our town and our country and the planet. That we open to the cosmic, beautiful quantum field and let it have its way with us in grace, in love, and in truth. So now we spend a few moments of quiet to allow this to bubble up and fill us with that grace and that love. I invite you to stay in this place with eyes softly open or closed and allow the music to invite you into an open, sweet, and loving place as we continue this service, that each one of us is lifted up to a place that is so joyful, so full of light, that our hearts are so open that we can just simply be who we are, successfully engaged in exactly what we're doing right here and right now. Blessed, blessed be as we invite ourselves into the welcome of a new year.
I am dropping down to the truth of who I am. I am dropping down, surrendering in love. I am dropping down to the truth of who I am. I am dropping down, surrendering in love, surrendering in love, surrendering in love, surrendering in love.
Something's calling me. Something's calling me. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Feel like I'm walking on marble. Can't steal the earth beneath my feet. Is my head in the clouds, my naked legs left dangling? I can feel my heart begin to pound. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. A long dark night, my soul it wanders. Can't see the light that moves me. If God is everything and everywhere that I belong, Spirit gently wakes me from my sleep. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Oh Lord, take me deeper than I've ever been before. Oh Lord, oh Lord, pull me deeper surrender my life to you. Oh Lord, oh Lord, I give my life, I give my love to you. Love is calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Compassion's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. My faith is calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Peace is calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Life is calling me, and I'm grateful like I've never been before.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Susan, I just want to say thank you. You know, we didn't have any music scheduled for today for months and all year, really. And Susan, you've just done the 29th. You did the 24th. You did the twice. We did the morning and the evening. You did all the ones before that. I just want to say thank you. And she does it with such style. And I just want to say thank you to all of you, to Sean and TJ and Mark, just for the willingness to. And I
love you all so much, and always happy to be here.
And for me, it's just a blessing because I know whatever happens there, I have this platform to start with, and this idea, something's calling me deeper than I've ever been called before. Now, some of you might feel like something's making you run further than you've ever done before, but that's still the universe calling you. It's calling us deeper, and we might want to know why. And we say, here's this new year. Do I even want to step in? There's an election coming up. There's this coming up. There's that coming up. And yet we also have a clean slate. Because what we know is that our lives are lived. The way we go through whatever happens around us is determined by what is going on within us. And sometimes we lose somebody that is very dear to us and we love and we think, I just got to get through this. And that's grief. And it takes years to recreate who we are and how we live our lives. And sometimes the family that we knew doesn't look like it did before, or humanity, where things are shifting and we say, how do we work within this? Now, James O.D.'s statement that stress is an evolutionary driver is just as true this moment as it was when he said it probably about 40 or 50 years ago. Stress is an evolutionary driver. That means when a society gets stressed, we will evolve. We don't always choose the easiest ways, but consciousness will evolve. And in case you wondered, there hasn't been a time when consciousness wasn't being pushed to evolve. Now, there's been some times when that pushing didn't happen if you had enough money or if you had white enough skin or if you had this or you had this or you had this. You could just kind of stay in a place of privilege and go through. And you didn't realize what was happening around you. And eventually, consciousness comes in and says, there's more here. There's more here. We're more. We're here to find something larger. And so as we step into a new year, what we're both doing is having a willingness to recognize that the universe is providing everything we need every moment. Now, I don't always agree with that, but on my soul level, I know it's true. I can be on my knees hurting because I've lost someone, or I've lost something that was important to me, or who I thought I was as a person, and yet I know that the universe is supporting me. And it's offering everything I need in that moment to take the next step that I'm to take, that somehow my soul has said yes to taking. Anybody's soul said yes to taking something you're not very happy with right now? A couple of us. we're wondering what in the world is going on. The universe is supporting us. And actually, in the radical forgiveness, we look at that idea. We look at the larger scope of how consciousness grows and the fact that there isn't really anything to forgive, which is a big statement, because it's an upward movement of spirit, and what happens around us is a pattern that moves us forward. It's an evolutionary impulse on this planet. And if we don't take it into consideration, when I'm moving through my stuff, if I don't take into consideration, wow, the universe has some really big plans for this soul. Honey, what were you thinking when you made those soul contracts? If I don't take that into consideration, I'm going to think life is happening to me again and it's hurting me, and there I am with no place to go and nothing to do and no one, and I'm not capable. And we've all been there. But that's not the truth of who we are. The truth of who we are is that somewhere there our soul said yes to expanding and expanding and expanding, and where are we going? And so part of what I believe is very important is to look at what's happening on the larger picture, because we're all a part of it. And then saying, okay, then taking it down into the individual picture right here, how do I get through this and this and this with grace, with a belief system that holds me? And so today, I don't know if it's possible, but I want to look at the big picture of humanity and life and consciousness and where we are and where we're going. And I want to look at the little pieces of how we get there. So we'll see in the next, 20 minutes if that happens or not. But I'm still working with this book that I started working with that someone dropped off at my house so lovingly, The Not Yet God by Ilia Delio. It is not easy to read. I am looking up every third word, not really, but just about, and trying to figure out these pieces. But I want to share with you some of these pieces because they're very important. They're on the evolution of consciousness and where we are as humanity. Now, you might not have heard much about the axial age and the pre-axial age and the second axial age, but there is this consciousness that is rising and growing. And I want to just say that these new stories, so Ilia Delio is a Franciscan nun who was a neuroscientist before she became a nun. She said she hasn't left the Catholic Church because she's going to change the Catholic Church. And by golly, she just keeps going. And I don't think they can kick her out because of the brilliance of this is her 19th book on evolution and humanity and the changing consciousness that's required of our God. And she goes back in and she says, it started with this idea. Let me go back to this. Axial consciousness generated a new self-awareness. So this age that came in, first it was pre-axial, and then they looked at the physical and human worlds as interdependent. And it's funny because we're going back to there, but we're going back in a much higher place. And an imbalance in one sphere could result in imbalance in the other. There was a lot of worship out there. The axial age came in, and it was marked by the rise of the individual and of religious cultures. In the axial age, people gained possession of their own identity, but they lost their organic relationship to nature and the world and community, severing the harmony with nature and the tribe. Anybody lost that? We gained an ability to say, I am. And actually, that is vital in consciousness. We have to be able to say, I am, and figure out who we are and how we move forward. But many people, especially in New Thought, it was like, okay, we're just going to keep going on I am and figure out we can just go right there. We don't need the other people, but actually we do. And so then we move into, the axial consciousness generated a new self-awareness, which included awareness of autonomy and a new sense of individuality. The human person as subject emerged. The monotheistic faiths, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, they are axial religions. So that was the first axial age. Guess what? We're moving out of it. We're simply moving out of it. We can't survive in that consciousness, but we had to get there. Now, this all flows into spiral dynamics. It all happens on this spiral that moves. Then we go into the second axial age. Now, more than 2,000 years later, we seem to be undergoing another paradigm shift. You can feel it. It comes in as pressure or stress. With the development of the theory of evolution and the rise of quantum physics and Big Bang cosmology, we saw the dawning of a new axis of consciousness that has led to this second axial age. Like the first axial age, this new axial age has been developing for several centuries, beginning with the rise of modern science. And also, like the first, it is affecting a radical transformation of consciousness. The second axial age is giving rise to the hyper-personal or hyper-connected person. We're beginning to know, we're required to know that we're connected to each other, that we're connected to the world, that we're a part of a whole universe and a movement of spirit. For the first time since the appearance of human life on our planet, and this is Cousins, what is it? Is it Norman Cousins? I don't know which Cousins it is. Wait a minute. Anyway, that all of the tribes, all of the nations, all of the religions are beginning to share a common history. People are becoming more aware of belonging to humanity as a whole and not just to a specific group. This is a new myth, a new archetype of holism, which, and she says, I will propose in this book has to do with the search for a new connection to divinity in an age of quantum physics, evolution, and cultural pluralism. The idea of relational holism is one that is rooted in the God-world relationship. We have to get away from a God out there that isn't related to me, and we begin finding that we're part of a universal, a whole, and we're a whole within a whole, which is a theory of holism, a very, 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 in a very low state of stating it. It's much more complicated than that. But we have to begin realizing, anybody have that? We've been feeling I'm not worthy. I don't know how I make it. I can't make it without them. I can't do this. How do I move through? I'm not enough. Those come from that old consciousness that religion decided to put out there. What's interesting is this movement of consciousness, if we spend our time saying they're bad and I hate them, the consciousness that was achieved on that level was required. We had to get to a place where we could realize and have an autonomy and an individuality and begin to say, not me, I don't agree. And that is part of it. Now we have to come back into a larger idea of I belong to it all. I'm a part of the movement. I'm a part of the consciousness flowing. I'm a part of what this is. And when we do, we find something more. So I said on Friday, the ancient Hebrews did not coin the word God. Rather, the word God has its origin in Sanskrit and means light or brilliance. And so this new myth that she's talking about of relational wholeness is the idea that the complex human can no longer be reduced to one view or another. We must see our existence within the whole, or we will not see the truth of our existence at all. You have within you the light of the infinite, the intelligence of the universe. You know, Albert Einstein said, there's only two ways to live your life. One is as if life is a miracle. And the other is as if life is nothing at all. And somehow we got discouraged because we got an old myth. We were born into a time when, while religion is continuing to say it, and by the way, before these old myths leave, they fight as hard as they can to keep it. And it gets to a point of ridiculousness. What's fascinating, I was thinking, it's 100 years of Daily Word now, and I don't know, it's starting in 2024. So it's been 100 years. Many of you may not know what this is, but it's a magazine that's been put out by Unity for 100 years now, saying these ideas that, using a metaphysical interpretation, they started with the Bible and saying, no, this is a way shower. There's an evolutionary impulse that's moving up and that our minds have that ability to shift and change. So it's 100 years here. As a community, we're actually starting on our 99th year of gatherings. I think it's about 68 years in this space. And I could be wrong on that. I'll count it up afterwards. But I don't know how good my addition is in my head right now. But we've been looking at these ideas. What I love is there's a growing body of words that explain what we're doing. So if we keep this in mind, that means when chaos happens in our lives, one of the first things we can do is not take it personally. Every one of us has places in our lives that are squeezing us because we said yes to being born during this time, and we said yes to evolving. Now, we might not like what we're being asked to evolve through. And it might be that you weren't accepted because of your sexual preference. It might be that you weren't accepted because of what you look like, or the lack of education, or too much education, or that your whatever lifestyle it was, the color of your skin, the way you move through. It could just be the body size. It could be anything. We think life doesn't like me because of this. But the truth is, you are an evolutionary soul who said, yes, I will do this. And in this body, and in this relationship, and in this way. And so that's the piece that it's like we're on this trajectory. And what she goes on to say, and I just want to do a couple more things. I promise I won't read you the whole book. But it's this newness of creation, that there is something that we haven't understood before, gives us a glimpse into the myth of divine reality. And that means, it says, if creation means being brought into relationship with the divine source of life, that is what literally that idea of creation means, to bring into relationship. So you're being asked to create in 2024. You're being asked to bring into relationship a new view of who you are within this world. We belong to it all. The messy, the good, all of the pieces, all of the ideas, we belong to it all because we are part of humanity stepping forward into a larger view. And we came here to be that love within ourselves and to change that view. And then it says, then to say God creates means that God, and that's light shares its life with us. Light, or God, is the ungraspable openness of life. Divinity is not a projection of a supernatural being, but it is the excess of life experienced as a personal invitation into the fullness of life. The divine mystery is the ultimate I am of everything. Creation exists because light, or God, exists, and God exists because creation exists. God and creation mutually co-inhere. I don't know what that means. The divine is never alone or by itself because it has no self. It is a dimension of the whole, and the divine is a dimension of every whole within the whole. Rumi in the 13th century said, we are the universe becoming aware of itself. That means right now where you are, the universe is becoming aware of itself as you. So we then get to say, wow. Does that change our view of life happening to us at all? We are in a time that is filled with change. There are some of us who might say, couldn't I have been born 50 years ago? Or couldn't I have been born, 100 years from now? But the truth is we said yes to now. Carolyn Mace has said that means we've also said yes to chaos, to living within chaos. And we better figure out how to do it. And that is a pretty good thing. I don't know if I want to agree with that because I believe we get to create what we want to create. But what I know is when there's chaos around us, we can build and learn and practice the ability then to center ourselves, to know that that divine is within us, and it is offering us tools to step forward, not saying life is happening to me, but to say this day happens by me. I am a co-creator of how I live my life. Now, these are steps of consciousness, and the lowest step of consciousness, of growing consciousness, is life happens to me. Anytime you're upset or angry or you don't like what's happening, guess what? Life is happening to you. Life is happening for us. It is a movement of consciousness up into a larger view. And we did say yes. So if we shift that to life happens by me, then we get to say, what tools do I have? And all about our lives is finding the tools to bring us back to the center, to say, oh yeah, I'm a part of this change. This is where I've said yes to being, and it's a miracle. It's a miracle that we can now see that's wrong. We can look at the war in Ukraine and say, this can't happen. It hurts in my being. It hurts in who I am. It hurts. That means we have evolved to a place where we can no longer accept what used to be the norm. That actually is a good sign. But we get to then figure out, how do I work through that? How do I feel the feelings and hold a space of knowing that who I am is more than what goes on around me? Because I'm a whole within the whole. So that means I have all the pure potentiality of spirit. There is an ever-renewing divine essence within every one of us. Now, most of us weren't taught that. We didn't grow up with that, and we're still trying to pull it in there and remember it. But the truth is, our bodies, our being, are expressions of divine life. We have powers within us. You know, Annette Boswell is going to be starting this study group on, or I think they're calling it Adult Sunday School, on the 12 powers. This was a theory that Charles Fillmore came up with the idea that we have the divine within us, and it shows up in this way. And the first power is faith, because faith sets a direction in your life. Now, how many of you were told to have faith in some God out there that was judging and had a long beard? Anybody in here in their lifetime? That's what we were told. Actually, faith is an inner quality. It is an inner quality. It's life. That is what life does. And then we decide, that's my pin, and the little point is sticking up, so I will really try not to step on it. That's just life. That is what life is doing. It just says, oh yeah, you want to try? Let's see. And then it becomes hilarious if we allow it to be. But faith is being able to say, I know what's going on. There's a larger evolution happening. And what I am finding is, I keep saying, what's happening in me? It's like life is saying either close down, or you got to expand in love when it hurts. You got to expand when all I want to do is get angry, or I don't understand, or life isn't working the way I want. But it's like it's calling us to expand that. Now, we do it by sitting in the silence, but we also do it when going through our lives. And so if we can say, I am faith, and my belief is that in this universe, all things work together for good. I believe that everything that is present in your life, everything that has been present in your life, is working for good right now. Now, we get to be the ones to accept it. And we don't always do that willingly. Oh my goodness, the number of times I've said, this is never going to work out, so I've just told the universe what I want to happen. Instead of saying, this is a miracle waiting to express in my life. This is a possibility. Part of what she talks about is literally the infinite possibilities that are available in every moment within every whole system. Now, that's every being, that's every community, within every country, within, all these holes within the whole within a field. And within that is an infinite possibility. Now, I don't like always waiting more than 5 seconds, and I want it to happen then. But we get to remember, we're shifting consciousness. We're taking the stuff, and they were lies. They were untruths. They were things that were not large enough at the time. And we said yes to throwing them off. So the places where life says you're not worthy, or you can't go through this, or you can't move through this, the invitation is to throw it off. To say, no, there's more. Faith is one of the ways. And by the way, next month is going to be strength. How many of us know that we have the absolute strength to say, I'm enough for this moment? Because when we do, good. Joy's been literally doing this meditation that you'll be given there, and that we use to work. My desire is that I both know the larger picture of what's happening, and I know if it's printed, it's out of date. But by golly, I got to get this stuff too. I got to understand what it is, because it takes it from stuff is happening to me and I'm in a little world and I don't like this and I don't like that and I don't like that, to, oh my gosh, there's a miracle. There's a mystery of life evolving as humanity now, and we're all a part of it. And what I know is I have to stretch, but I also have to get really clear. Life gives me what I believe it is, which means I got to go to love when I want to hold on to an old fear. I got to go to love. I got to go to opening when I think something's not enough or they've done something wrong to me. Because I know if they've done something, life is either, love or a call for love. Anything that's done that tries to hurt another means I'm afraid I'm losing my world and my mind, and they are. Because they can't keep the old stories anymore. We don't live in a world that says you're worthy and you're not. Now, there's still some fighting for it. But 2024 is just saying, open to me. Allow me to teach you a little bit more. Allow me to love through you a little bit more. And when the stuff happens, let it happen. But hold a knowing in faith and in strength that you are enough, that you are a creation of this universe, a whole creation, and that right where you are, love lives, life lives, and the ever-renewing power of Spirit will move through your being and say yes. And then you just take another step and you do it again. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, I was up all night trying to figure out how to talk about evolution and who we are and all the little pieces, the big piece and the little piece in one. So thank you for being a part and being here. Lynn is coming up to share a little bit. We're still in the middle of in part of our Christmas challenge. You may have heard about it. You may have gotten an envelope and a letter in the mail. But Lynn is one of our board members, the head of our chaplains. She is a prayer practitioner and so much more. So thank you, Lynn.
Well, okay, I'll stop now. Anyway, it's beautiful to be here this morning with you, and thank you very much for your attention. I would like to tell you a little story about a friend of mine who I've known for probably 25 to 30 years. Her name is Sherry, and she lives with quadriplegia. And this is from a diving accident where she broke her neck. And she has, she can drink through a straw. If she goes out for coffee, she has to trust the barista to take her card out and run it through the machine for her and put it back into her purse. And she has an electric wheelchair. And she's unable to hold any writing implements, but she can wear something on her wrist so that she can use this device to hit her phone. So she, as you can tell, she's somewhat limited. But this is a woman who I met when I was on the board for the Independence Center of Virginia. And it's the Independence Center is an organization that supports and advocates for people with disabilities, and they're all around this country. And Sherry and I were board members together, and at the time, she was an attorney for the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. So her brain works just wonderfully, and her ability to do things is amazing. We did a fundraising effort, and unfortunately, it was scheduled for 2 days after 9/11. So that we had to cancel that and put it on a month later, which was a huge undertaking. We had, for instance, like 100 baskets for a silent auction. We had the Capitol steps performing. We had a senator speaking, and all of that needed to be rearranged once again. And we had a venue with, drinks and food and all of that. And And with her ability and us all working together, we were able to make that come off. We had over 400 people there to support and raise money for this organization. And Sherry has had her ups and downs with health. She is also a breast cancer survivor. And she is someone who always gives back. And so she got a team of people together to raise money for cancer research. And her organization and the people that she had supporting her to help her raise money, her group was called Undaunted Determination. And that's who Sherry was, and that's the way that she gave back. And as a member of your board, I want you to know that we so much appreciate all that you've given to us with your undaunted determination to help us end this year in the black. And my slogan is, let me see, because it's running out of my head, debt-free in 23. There we go. So that's what I'm holding with your help. And today is the last day of 2023. So if any of you want to give an extra $1, $5, $100, $1,000, or a penny, this would be the day to do it if you want to take it off your 2023 taxes. 2023. So if that's not in your bailiwick to do that, I have something that I would like to offer you for 2024, which has to do with our spiritual community, our spiritual home, where we are fed every week with lovely messages from our minister and beautiful music and all kinds of activities that I think you can find one or two or maybe 5 or 6 things that you would love to be able to be a part of here. And you know that you are loved by this community. Even when you're not here or when you're online, we just know that we hold you in love. And so my offer to you for 2024 is invest more in 2024, whether it be $1 or a penny or more. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lynn. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. And we do continue getting closer to breaking even, and I am so grateful. We hold this space and do these things. There is going to be a slide in just a moment that shows ways you can give in this community. We're going to take time to say our prayer, but also if you're looking for ways to give, can you put our slide up, Leah? Is that possible? Oh, it's up. I'm sorry, it didn't get up there. Okay, I need to look behind me. Okay, so those are ways you could give in this community. There's a blue card in the seat in front of you that also shares that, and you can take it with you or just look at it now. We're going to say our blessing. And again, we go back to principle. There is a consistency of principle in the universe, and when we hold these ideas, literally our lives fall into that order. And so knowing that divine love, that is a vital thing. So we can just say it together. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. All right.
Of your love's like the warmth of the sun, and this will be our year. Took a long time to come. Don't let go of my hand, now the darkness has gone, and this will be our year. Took a long time to come, and I won't forget the way you helped me up when I was down, and I won't forget the way you said, darling, I love you. You gave me faith to go on. Now we're there, and we've only just begun. And this will be our year. Took a long time to come. The warmth of your smile, smile for me, little one. And this will be our year, and we've only just begun. You don't have to worry, all your worry days are gone. And this will be our year, and we've only just begun. And I won't forget the way you helped me up when I was down. And I won't forget the way you said, darling, I love you. You gave me faith to go on. Now we're there, and we've only just begun. And this will be our year, and we've only just begun. And this will be our year, and we've only just begun.
Thank you, thank you. And in just a moment, we're going to sing our youth in. Part of seeing each other is to recognize the light that is within every being, everywhere. So as our youth, as we sing them in, by the way, they did their burning bowl today. I noticed the bowl went outside. So they got to let go of some of the stuff they wanted to let go of and not bring into the new year. If you didn't get to do the burning bowl Friday night, it is on our YouTube channel, and I believe it's been also linked on Facebook. So you can actually look at it and do that process. But we're going to sing in our youth, and I just invite you to create an energy field of love. Allow the love that you are to encircle them as they walk in.
You are the star of the morning. You are heaven smiling at us. You're God's gift of tomorrow. Oh, how we love you. Oh, how we love you. You are the star of the morning. You are heaven smiling at us. You're God's gift of tomorrow. Oh, how we love you. Oh, how we love you.
All right, and so they got to do a little bit of letting go, and we are here to welcome all of us into a year, and I'm just setting the intention for peace. If we haven't added peace as one of the things that we can stand within and learn to create as a spiritual practice for ourselves, we're going to stand and sing, "Let There Be Peace on Earth, and Let It Begin With Me," and let's just hold that space.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Oh, yes. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Our Uniteens are doing the Connection Hour. Is that what I've heard? The YOU is doing our Connection Hour. If you would like to go downstairs and put an offering in for that Connection Hour, they would appreciate it. It helps them get to camps. We're going to say our Unity prayer, and then we will sing our youth out. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And we just say, thank you, God. Women's group will be downstairs at 12:30, and What is Unity will be in the chapel at 12:30. We're going to sing our youth out.
Should autumn grain dance me